why didn't anyone record on the plane?
Oh, I want to know that. Okay. I really want to know that.
What kind of piece of person would we be to record what was happening?
Oh, really? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got you. I got you on camera.
What's up, y'all? It's Brian Keith, and I'm back with another video. And today we're gonna talk about the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. And I think Brittany and Meredith literally are the same people. Hear me out when I say this. At the end of this episode, when Andy asked Meredith, when you're on the plane, did you have a drink? Meredith then deflected from the whole fucking conversation and said, well, the real reason I have an issue with Brittany is because she supports someone that's anti-Semitic. That spiraled to where we are today. Brittany, she does the dramatic, she does the theatrics, and to be honest, do I believe half of the account that Brittany says? I don't, especially when Jared was involved. But we're gonna talk about it. Y'all like, comment, subscribe, and enjoy.
Let me check my shit real quick. Hotter than the fire coming out my flaming lips. You wanna play with me? You can't play in me. On the playground, bitch, you can't play with me. Got it, want it, securing the bag.
All right, so first of all, I just want to say that I like Lisa Barlow, but I'm not defending Lisa Barlow just to defend Lisa Barlow. I just want to go ahead and get that out the way. Just let people know, like, if I defend someone, it just makes sense for me. But we're gonna start with Mary Cosby. And Mary, we're talking about her son and everything that transpired with her son going to his, estranged wife's house. Them calling the police, them tasing him being locked up. And basically Mary says, I'm privy of all these things. I have not went to go see him. I don't want to see him like that. And, she feels like the lesson that he needs to learn it on his own. He was still using. There were certain things that transpired. So I'm just trying to be as supportive as I can. However, he has to learn the lesson on his own. I can't do it for him.
At some point, I have to step back so that he can learn and he can make his own decision. And unfortunately, he's learning the hard way. But I'm okay with it. It's just
obviously. So yeah. And then Andy, talks about Mary, contribution to the show and how she, he loves the way she preaches, and her church is now becoming another topic of discussion amongst the group, being that, TLC is doing this whole documentary about alleged cult church.
It's old news. I wish it weren't coming out.
They've been saying that since my church opened.
Yeah.
They said it about my grandmother. They said.
So Mary was just like, yeah, people have been saying about my church since my mom was running the church. I just feel like it's because of the rules. It was like, but Mary, no, it's not because of the rules. It's because of people's account of the things that you have done and said inside that church. Whitney didn't bring Cameron and all these people onto the show just willy-nilly. There was a story that he wanted to share, and unfortunately, he did pass away. But Mary then, charges at Lisa very sternly, and I think rightfully so. Lisa, you have made mention of her church. You did bring Cameron onto the show, but Mary, you have to also realize that not only did Lisa do that, but the person that really was leading the charge was Whitney.
friends, and I don't think, now. What did you just say, Mary? I said now you guys are good friends. No, we were always good friends, and we had.
As Whitney sitting at the edge, like, yeah, that's true. We did. Yeah. Whitney, like, if you're going to give it to Lisa, cool, that's fine. Give it to her too. Because she does not then escape accountability for the things that she has done. Lisa feels like, Mary, you just don't like me. You just don't do this. You don't do that. And he makes mention like, okay, well, Mary did defend you. And all the girls are like, oh, do Lisa even know what he's talking about? Lisa's like, thinking. But honestly, I think Lisa really don't give a fuck. Lisa, I think it got brought up about Lisa's loyalty to Meredith. Andy brings it up as well. So a fan question gets asked, and mind y'all, none of my questions get asked. I'm so mad. But a fan question get asked about, you know, Meredith not supporting Lisa. I said this before in my video where I feel like Lisa is a better friend now than Meredith has ever been. And it showed this season, especially when they're on the yacht, where everybody was attacking Lisa. And when they were like, well, you know, Meredith, you could have spoke up more. Meredith was like, if I agree, I agree. If I agree, if I don't, I'm not saying anything. Lisa's the opposite, where it's like, if she agree or not, Lisa's going to defend you regardless. She will go to war for you regardless. And, you know, I respect that, right?
It's called Meredith, or are you just going to fixate on mine? Because I am mother sick of hearing the same goddamn things on repeat. Please don't say God's name.
But Mary just like, you know, she brings up, you know, okay, y'all are so close and y'all are this and the third. She was like, but wasn't she a whore? Didn't she sleep with half of New York? Isn't that what you said about your friend? So, and Lisa was just like, she's like, why are we keep bringing this fucking shit up? This goddamn shit. I was like, God, hold on. And Mary's just like, you know, Mary was like, you know, because you said it. And Andy co-signed, he was just like, you know, it's kind of shocking the fact that you guys have became like, y'all just basically skip by like nothing happened. But my whole thing is this, like, are they supposed to dwell on it? If they talked about it for 2 fucking seasons and got through it, are they still supposed to still dwell on it? I'm just confused on it, right? And most of it came because of the meddling with Jen Shaw, but to each his own. But my whole thing is this. I think a lot of people don't really care for Lisa when it comes to Mary, because people love Mary so much. And when Lisa goes up against Mary, people don't like that because they feel like Mary can't do no wrong.
Okay, I would say it took you 2 years to
you know what?
come
But
back
it was also 4
together.
years ago. But it's also 4, almost 5 years ago.
Me, I like Mary, I like Lisa, I like majority of the girls besides Whitney and motherfucking Heather. However, I'm not going to just think that Mary, some of her actions, Mary does not forgive. Mary barely gets over anything. And Mary does a lot of things where she feels self-righteous, where I can yell at you, you can't yell at me. And the perfect example of that was when they were over here doing the fortune telling thingy, and the person was doing the fortunes and this and the third, and they were all outside, and Angie and Lisa was going at it. Mary went over to console Lisa, telling her like, it's not that deep, just sit down, you know, you can get through it, blah, 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 blah. But when, even though Angie was verbally abusive and verbally berating and doing a lot and very boisterous at that time, when Angie basically told her like, hey, do not tell me what to do, just let me vent right now. And then when Angie basically threw it back at Mary and said, well, you went back to her, at least what did Mary do? I'm done with you. That's what she did. So it's like, people gotta walk on eggshells when it comes to Mary. When it comes to Mary, we gotta walk on eggshells. We can't fully tell her how we feel. But, and if we do, then it's like, oh, well, we're not friends, we're not this, we're not that, we're not this, not that. Like, no, that's not how that works. Like, girl, you on the show just like we are. Who are you for you to? And I think a lot of the thing is that people think that we're gonna play with Mary with kid gloves because Mary is the only black woman. We don't want to be deemed racist and this and the third. I think that is an element of it as well. But Mary, if she gets her foot into the dirt, girl, we all getting dirty then. That's just how it is.
And I don't move forward, you don't move forward. You're the worst person when it comes to forgiving, and you remember everything and you dwell on it. And
you know what I'm saying? But yeah. So, like I said, we see Brittany, and Brittany, she looks lovely. They asked, you know, why did Brittany bring up the whole Seth cheating on Meredith? And you know, the ladies are basically saying that this information was out, the whole TikTok thing. Bronwyn then segues and she says, well, you know, when everybody was talking about my marriage, you know, I didn't blow up, I didn't do this, I didn't do that, like that's just what it was, like, you know, we just talking. But I'm looking at Bronwyn, was like, but you did though. When Lisa kept bringing your husband up, you kept telling her, you said, stop bringing up my husband, stop bringing up my husband. So, I mean, I'm confused on where the rhetoric is coming from.
oh, I saw this TikTok. You tried to say you know firsthand that my husband was cheating on me, and I didn't throw I didn't bully anybody. I didn't lose my mind, allegedly.
But Andy asked Brittany, he was like, okay, so what really transpired with Seth? You said on Watch What Happens Live, there's more. So what's going on? So she's like, well, there is more. So the more information that she got was allegedly Jared situation. Lisa brings to the forefront like, well, Jared came to us and told us about the whole situation with Dubai and this and the third. Like, Jared was saying a lot of things, and then Braun was just like, yeah, you told him to bring it up on the show. You told him to bring it up on the motherfucking show. And they're just like, no, 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 no. I'm like, well, Lisa, I'm looking at the clip, Lisa, but you did though.
What do you tell Amy here about Mayor Todd wanted you and him to go? Tell her what he wanted you to do. Jared, say it. You said it to
You was definitely trying to get that information out. And also, shout out to Amy, the socialite. Bring her on the show. But Lisa, you definitely trying to get that information out. You was pulling for the information. So I just want, at least in those moments, stand in and say, bitch, I didn't fuck with you at the time. I did not like you. So yes, I was trying to get that information out because, bitch, you try to do me, I'm about to do you. I would have respected that so much. I'm just like, at this point, gloves off, right? Also, in the beginning of the episode, I didn't talk about the whole scroll of it all. And I said, Angie, if this is not an actual receipt, Angie, then you're going to look dumb, right? So,
percent, not me.
What I'm looking at is an account from someone that is posting.
Is that my phone number?
Hold on.
One comment that could fit on that.
deep dive in this receipt. I went on and did a little bit of research. So deep dive into the receipt and you know, the account that was over here trolling the girls and this and the third, like saying different things. It's like they're trying to put the Monica on Lisa, and Lisa even said it like, girl, this is not the receipts, proof, screenshots, timeline. This is not that
Number that I just read, your number.
Yeah, but it's not connected to me. They just put in my phone number and did this.
So this, you're not about to get shit on me. It like, it's over and done, and the heartache has been on inside. If you've been knowing for 2 to 3, 4, 5 years, girl, like, it's not really a receipt that makes sense. Like, y'all are trying to pin this shit on Lisa every single time, and for me, the shit gets old. We're gonna find out stuff about y'all because y'all are on TV. There's fans out here that are highly invested in you guys' lives. They're gonna find out. So if you're out, if you're this, you're doing that, you're talking to this person, somebody's gonna get something and it's gonna get sent back. So I'm just like, it is what it is, right? So Meredith basically says that, you know, I don't trust anything that Brittany says. She mocks me. She brings up people with illnesses about seizures. And Andy was like, yeah, you know, you said that she had seizures. And she said, I did not say that she had seizures. And I'm like, Brittany, but you did though. Like,
I didn't say she had seizures without her having a seizure of some sort.
Oh.
when you was with Bronwyn at that beauty shop or whatever the fuck you were at, you did say like she's over here having seizures, and then Brittany was like, well, you know, the thing about it is that my daughter, once she said my daughter, the girls, my daughter suffered from seizures. And that's something that, you know, I would not play with at all. Like, you know, there's just, you know, that's just one thing I do. And you start laughing and giggling. I'm like, girl, so is it crying or is it like empathy? Is it laughter? Like, I don't get Brittany half the time.
Joke, I'm sorry, but it's also triggering to me.
Shut up! Who cares? It's stupid!
No, come on now. But Meredith ain't about it. Meredith really don't give not one fuck. Meredith like literally probably hate this bitch. So let's get to the recording of it all. The airplane. Everything that happens on this airplane. And, you know, they said that Meredith was so volatile. And mind you, this is off the heels. This happened, and then all of a sudden, Portia had a situation on the airplane too. Recorded, all this, witnesses, right? So Andy asked, like, you know, what happened? And Meredith said, you know, I was talking to Lisa, and, you know, I was having a conversation with Lisa about a situation that had happened. Brittany says that, you know, you over here pulled my seat, tugged at my hair, I had wine spilled on my seat, all these different things, right? Now, do I think something happened on that plane? I do. Meredith, girl, we love you. But I do think something happened on that plane. And I think the biggest thing, I think what Mary tapped on this a little bit was, you not remembering the details kind of seems kind of fishy for me. So Andy asked, like, you know, these are the questions that's been asked the whole time. Why didn't you ladies record?
Why didn't anyone record? What kind of piece of person would be? Shut the fuck up!
So Heather speaks up, and Heather was like, in a moment of rage, in a moment of disgustingness, you expect me to record that at that moment? Like, who would I be? And I'm like, this bitch is a fucking weirdo. What season was Monica on? Season 4, when Lisa lost her fucking ring. Where were you? In the bathroom stall, not helping her find that ring, because you probably pocketed that ring, but not helping her find that ring, but you was over here on the phone. Oh girl, quiet down. So don't sit up here and say that you would not record when you recorded in the past, girl. It's literally your blueprint. So what do you talk about?
You recorded in the bathroom in Palm Springs when Lisa lost her $60,000 ring, but you didn't record this?
So I'm confused when you talk about, oh, we would never do that. But you did though. So you're contradicting your statement right then because you already have done it. And then, but then Heather was just like, yeah, Meredith, you said all this stuff, but you said, Heather, that you were asleep for majority of the plane ride. So now you were privy of everything that had happened, but you told us you were asleep. So which one is it? Were you present or were you asleep? Because you like to do all of this. Were you present or were you asleep?
I don't know at what point it tipped, but maybe when we were hustling her, I don't know, Meredith.
Which one was it? Because at the end of the day, don't sit here and tell us as the fans that you were asleep. That's why I didn't move my chair. I didn't move my chair because I was asleep. But that's not what it was. Like, girl, you just said, oh, I didn't move my chair because, you know, at the end of the day, we're all in dissent. We're in dissent. So during dissent, they told us to sit down. They told us that we could not go. Girl, at the end of the day, if it was that bad, like you said, fuck a dissent, bitch. And mind you, she said it was a dissent for the last hour. That's what they said, a dissent for the last hour. So you sat there for 50-something minutes being chastised by Meredith. I'm sorry. Like, my whole thing is just like, I feel the story is bigger than what it was. Do I think Meredith was talking shit? Yes, I do. Because when I just found out that allegedly Lisa was sitting in front of Brittany and Brittany was sitting in the middle of the Meredith, like, I think that's how it was. I don't know.
You for saying that. Our friendship is over from this moment on. Buckle up, Meredith.
I also find it funny that Heather told Meredith that in this moment, we're no longer friends. Buckle up. And I'm just like, were y'all ever friends? Like, this moment, her saying you're screeching, that's what did it. That did it. You screeching. Oh, that took you over the edge, huh? I'm just confused with Heather and her rhetoric half the time. And this was just didn't make any sense to me. I'm just like, okay. Meredith, she was just like, you know, I want to ask a question. And she was like, you know, if I was doing all of these things, if I was doing that, why would you guys not switch seats? Why have you guys not comforted me and do these things? They're like, we did. We tried to intervene. And Whitney's like,
I did. I tried to intervene with you, but you don't want to do anything with me. You don't want to talk to me. You don't want to do anything with me. So I tried.
I'm like, Whitney, girl, the reason why you're on the end is because it's in one ear and out the other. Girl, what are you saying?
Delusional.
Meredith, I feel like Meredith is doing a lot of deflecting. And mind you, I can see why she's an attorney and a lawyer. Skilled. So Andy asked the buzzing question. Did you have a drink before you got onto the plane? Mind you, for me, one drink shouldn't make you go loopy like this. Maybe 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, girl, I can see her being concerned. But he was like, do you have a drink? And she said, Andy, let's ask another question, Andy. She said, this is the question this is what I want to know. She said, the real reason I have an issue with Brittany.
Really important here that's going by the wayside is discussing why I have such a fractured relationship with Brittany.
Is because in the beginning of the season, there was a nail tech that has been making anti-Semitic comments. It was my old nail tech. And once I found out he was making these comments, I stopped being a client of his. But he reached out to Brittany, and Brittany gave him like roaring reviews because he needed help trying to change his image after people found out that he's anti-Semitic. Okay, so then Brittany came on with Jared. They did what they had to do, and Meredith was like, once the season started, I could not fake the funk. I could not be cool with her because I knew that was in the back of my head. That's where most of my frustration and rage came from, and I knew the fans wouldn't understand it.
A review to combat all the negative reviews he was receiving because he's an anti-Semite. Okay. And they wrote a glowing review for him.
Mind you, I think as the fans, we would have understand that if that was the case. And if you would have said something, Meredith, that would have made more sense to why the vitriol you had for Brittany stemmed from the last season to now. Like, okay, that is legit. That's a legit situation. But I think a lot of these women want to come on the first season, the new season, to start on a good foot. Girl, half the time I want y'all bitches to start on the bad foot. Get it out the way, girl. Brittany tells her account. She was like, hey, you know, I knew this guy. He does nails. I knew that he did Meredith Marks' nails. So I was like, I know he's reputable. Cool. She was like, so he does great nails. So he said, you know, instead of you know, we'll do your nails for free, and all you have to do is just do like a review and a post of our service. She was like, easy, cool, done, got it.
Are you anti-Semitic? Okay, no. Apologize to her. I did 1,000 times, but I have to finish the story. The worst accusations you can make of a human being.
So she said that after that happened, people sent her information about him being anti-Semitic and these things that, you know. So she was just like, once she got that, she took the post down. She called him like, is this true? Like, this is, you know, I don't agree with this, blah, blah, blah. And Meredith said that, you know, at the end of the day, she feels allegedly Britney's a bigot and she supports a bigot. And that's where it basically stemmed in bigotry. And Andy asked a question like, do you feel like she's anti-Semitic? And basically Meredith says that I don't know, like, but she said it felt targeted.
Has she ever said anything anti-Semitic to you? She's been on the attack of me from day one. I was nice.
So I feel like this was a situation that happened on Real Housewives of New York, the reboot, the first season with Lizzie. It was a situation like that where she felt like, you know, people were being, you know, and then I think Lizzie's husband allegedly said a racial slur. But then also you have Jenny Nguyen, who was very pointed towards Mary during season 2. So it's just parallels that come back where I feel like she's trying to paint the situation on Britney. I don't think Britney is anti-Semitic. However, I don't know this bitch from a hole in the wall. I just know a character of her on this show. So I don't know her. But in real life, I hope she's not. I hope she's, you know, a person that believes in equality, believes in everything good, right? But, you know, Meredith, she gets very frustrated. She starts to cry, do these things. And I was like, okay. But then Britney starts to cry. And then when Britney starts to cry about, you know, how dare people accuse her of such a thing, then Meredith says, oh, she's a victim. And I'm like, but Meredith, you did it too, though. You literally just did it like 30 seconds before she did it. And you start to tear up to Andy. But then when she starts to cry, I was like, oh, now she's the victim. To be honest, if she is telling, if that's her truth and she's being honest with how she feels in her recount of it, then I don't see where the issue came from. If she did delete the post and she did separate herself from the guy. And then when they said, like, you know, Britney, did you ever give a genuine apology? She was like, I hugged her, you know, I embraced her. Meredith saying that's a lie. I don't think Britney did all that. Britney might have had a conversation and apologized, but my whole thing is this, like, Meredith never said that she didn't apologize. So if Britney did apologize, where is the issue now? But Britney gets very frustrated and flustered, girl. She's running off. Talk about, I can't believe that you got, oh my God. You know, she does all of that.
It's not okay. You need to go. Stop calling me a victim. I'm not a victim.
That was the end of the episode. Let me know what you guys think. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Brian Keith, LG, Black Butte. Bet you didn't know we the Holy Trinity. Now let it gossip.